It happened 2 years ago, when 4 students' friends who studied at the Faculty of Cinema were given the task of making a mystical short movie during their vacation. Anna, David, Mike, and Simon were their names. Were on vacation in Egypt, they accidentally heard from a guide on a tour that every full moon in the tunnels under the pyramids, people hear strange sounds in the tunnels under the pyramids. People say it's the spirit of Khufu and prefer not to go out at night. Scientists say that this is the noise of the wind that rises from the tunnels at night when it heats up during the day. Mike and David immediately came up with the idea to explore these tunnels because they are lucky to have a full moon tomorrow, and the task that was on vacation will be completed, and they can continue to rest afterwards. Simon and Anna thought at first that the boys were just joking, so they didn't take it seriously. The night of the full moon came, Mike and David gathered the equipment, and now they had to convince Simon and Anna to shoot. And while Simon was easy to convince, Anna was seriously scared because it was not only illegal, but also dangerous. The guys got their way, and late at night, the company with cameras secretly left the hotel in the direction of the pyramids. An hour later, they were already at the entrance to the tunnels. Suddenly, Anna started to panic, but the guys knew how to persuade her by pressing her weak spot. Anna dreamed of becoming a famous actress, and the boys exploited this. After a few minutes of descending, they were already in the tunnel. It was a tunnel 20 meters long and 4 meters high with a light and ancient hieroglyphics. The guys started making fun of each other, exclaiming that it was some kind of spirit and scaring each other. But after 20 minutes of wandering around the tunnel, filming footage and nothing interesting, they decide to get out, but not Anna. While the boys were frolicking, she heard some sounds coming from the floor. She pushed aside a stone and triggered a mechanism that opened a trap door, and she fell down. The boys, who were already at the exit and were about to leave, heard Anna fall and immediately started running towards the abyss. Anna was okay. It was just an accident and the height was not great, so she shouted that she was fine. Without hesitation, the boys started to climb down one by one. Finally, something interesting. I could smell it with my nose, said Mike. After making sure that everyone was okay and the equipment was working, they decided to go to the front. Meanwhile, Anna kept hearing the voice, and at some point, she thought she saw a dark figure, but she didn't say anything to the boys, thinking that it was just stress and fear. After passing through a few rooms, the heroes come across a corridor in which a large number of mummies seem to be guarding something. Frightened for a moment, they laughed and started moving on. David asked Simon if he was filming everything, and Simon replied that he had been filming since they left the hotel. When they got to the middle of the room, Mike screamed. Something grabbed his arm. David, Simon, and Anna started to panic and get scared, and that was a mistake because the rest of the mummies were awake too. Mike and David told Simon to take Anna, and they ran away, realizing that the boys would not survive. Anna refused, but Simon subconsciously knew that either he and Anna would survive, or they would all die. After 5 minutes of continuous running, the sounds of fighting and screaming subsided, and they sat down to take a breath and think about what had happened and that Mike and David were gone. After a while, Simon gets up and says that they need to keep going and find a way out. Anna agrees, and they continue on their way. But the voice in Anna's head doesn't go away and gets louder and louder until she and Simon enter a large hallway with a hole. And then the voice suddenly disappears. Anna paused, but Simon went ahead, throwing the camera to the side as if something was pulling him. When he reached the end of the hall, he froze and stood. Anna looked at it all and shouted to the guy. What happened? Where did he go suddenly? Why doesn't he respond? But suddenly Simon answered. Anna turned pale. The voice that had haunted her all the way came from Simon's mouth. Simon turned around and said with a smile, "For hundreds of years I have been searching for you, and you came to me, my love. I felt this weak body as soon as he entered my temple, and then when I saw you, I could not let go." Anna still could not fully understand what was happening. Then Khufu began to explain the story of his love, and that Anna was very similar to his beloved. He believes that she was reincarnated in Anna's body, and came to him, and he will take her to his world. Anna doesn't like this, and goes to the exit, which was nearby, but Khufu grabbed her hand and is going to kill her, so that the soul of his beloved will be united with him, and they can both go to the world of the dead. A fight broke out, and Anna intervened and beat Simon, who was possessed by Khufu. Even several times she managed to get away, but he grabbed her again and carried her to the place of sacrifice. Simon intervened for a second and shouted in his voice to Anna to run. Anna realized that it was the real Simon who spoke. He pulled a knife out of his shirt and killed himself. Anna picked up the camera and started running as fast as she could, until she ran out of the tunnel to the exit. She sat down and just thought about everything that had happened in fear while the camera was filming it.